Hello and welcome to Newsmakers on CHCH Podcast. I'm Louie Butko and thank you for joining us today. And every so often here on the show, we take you behind the scenes to get to know some of the faces you see and don't always see who help bring our shows to air. And today I'm very pleased to be joined by CHCH Evening News weekend anchor and video journalist Adam Atkinson. A native of Fanny-Stell, Manitoba, Adam graduated from television broadcasting at Confederation College in Thunder Bay and worked in Brandon, Manitoba and Red Deer, Alberta before joining CHCH in 2002. In his more than 2 decades at CH, he has covered some of the biggest stories in the city with his own unique creativity and sense of humor. You can currently find him producing and anchoring our flagship weekend news program and throughout the week continuing to report from Hamilton, Halton, and Niagara. Adam Atkinson, there's an intro for you, buddy.
That's some old video there.
Did you like it? We went back into the archives for some of that stuff. I think it was like a toy convention.
Yeah.
You got pelted by Nerf guns.
I think I look the same.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Absolutely. There we go. There was you last night anchoring the big program here at CHCH. Great to have you here. I mean, let's go back to that 2002. Well, let's go back to my intro, because there's no way Fanny-Stell, Manitoba is a real place. Please tell me about where you grew up or where you were born.
It is a small farming village, about 45 minutes southwest of Winnipeg, Fanny-Stell, Manitoba. It's a French community. I don't speak French, so that was a little bit difficult. But yeah, less than 100 people at the time, and only a couple kids my age, so it was tough. We had to bus for an hour to go to Ely, Manitoba for school.
How big was that graduating class then?
About 22 people.
Wow.
Yeah. But I graduated, so that's good.
An hour bus ride to go to a class of 22.
Yeah, zigzagging throughout the country on rough country roads on a school bus.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a tough go.
So when did you think, I got to get out?
When I moved there. No, well, I wasn't a farmer, so I needed to do something, and I really loved sports, so I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. And we did these placements in high school, and I got to go with Darren Detishin, Joe Pascucci from Winnipeg. I don't know if you know that name, but he's huge in that area. Darren Dreger. There's some
early drags too.
Yeah. And
Dutchy too.
And Darren Millard, before he blew up on Sportsnet and moved to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. And that was only like a week of sitting and watching these guys work, and I was hooked. So I pursued it after high school.
You went to Confederation in Thunder Bay, the closest program, probably.
I didn't get into the Red River Community College in Winnipeg, so I just had to go to Thunder Bay.
Okay, so as a Manitoba kid going to Ontario, were you ostracized as a pegger? Or?
So the crazy thing about Ontario was grade 13 at the time. So I was 18 graduating, so I was significantly younger than everyone in my class, and they were like, "Oh, let's go out," and I couldn't. I couldn't legally go out, so that was a little bit different. But I'd lived in Thunder Bay before, so it wasn't new to me. I had family there, so that helped as well.
Okay, so your first job out of college, what was that?
So as part of my college placement, I went to a small station in Brandon, Manitoba, where one of our coworkers, Selena, also got her start, called CHCH Television. And it was a newsroom of about five people, and for the teleprompter, this is how we were really old school. This was big tapes we were using, and for the teleprompter, one of my jobs was to tape the scripts together, the paper scripts together, and then feed it, and this reel would run it through this system so the anchors could see it on the screen. It was pretty cool, and it was before the internet, and I don't even think we had a cell phone in the newsroom. It was pretty old school.
That's crazy. When did you fall in love with the job?
Fairly quickly. So I keep saying that I learned more in my first 2 weeks on placement than I did in 2 years of college. Like college gave me a little bit of a foundation. I learned a little bit about this. But as soon as I was on the job following people around and they were just showing me the ropes, I fell in love with it immediately. Yeah. And I took my first job as a part-time camera guy back then, and just learning how to shoot and edit. And then I got to do farm stories and human interest piece stories as a videographer, which is what I am now. And I was hooked. I'm not a big, I like serious news, but I really like the fun human interest piece stories. Telling someone's quirky story is what really excites me.
Yeah. And the way you tell stories, it is creative. It is unique. It is with a sense of humor, which again in this business can be difficult because we encounter people who have no sense of humor, whether that's the subject of the story or even sometimes the viewers of the story.
Yeah, it's tough.
How did you build, I mean, because I don't think it's a character, it's who you are, but how did you find that comfort of, okay, this putting myself out there versus me telling this story in a creative way? Because it is a delicate balance. You don't want to make an ass out of yourself. You don't want to look stupid. You're willing to laugh at yourself.
I think that's the biggest thing, willing to laugh at myself. Like, I'm sure there are times I've put myself out there and I've looked like a moron. But if I can laugh about it afterwards, I'm okay with it. And if I can make other people laugh and smile, then I'm okay with it. But you asked me, like, how do I know if it's going to work out that day and if the person I'm interviewing is going to play ball? And I've run into some people, comedians even, who you expect to be funny and willing to do it, and they've been some of the grouchiest people I've ever met. And as soon as you encounter that, you're like, all right, we're getting a basic story today.
Yeah.
No humor, just basic.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing.
We do have to play this clip, one of the all-time iconic CHCH moments. I haven't told you what clip it is.
All right.
But let's take a look.
Let's go back to intrepid garden newsman Adam Atkinson for more.
It's hard to get a sense of just how long this zucchini is, so I'm going to try to show you a different way. I'm 6'1". This zucchini is almost 8'5".
I went to journalism school. I wanted to be a foreign correspondent. Now I'm lying on the ground next to a very long squash. Please dig a hole and just roll me into it. Back to you, Taz.
So that, I mean, is iconic because you got Stephen Colbert, one of the funniest people in late night comedy, faux news, whatever, calling you out by name. And I could understand that, like, okay, like you could see, like, he's not making fun of you because really, like, you wrote the setup for that joke. He just delivered the punchline.
Yeah. Well, technically he was making fun of me, but I loved it. He made fun of me for about 4.5 minutes, and it was amazing. And I knew when I was doing that story, like I was shooting in a certain way that it was interesting, and I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. I used a drone for that part of it. So I used a drone, my cell phone, and my actual news camera to shoot that. So a lot of work went into it, and it did look ridiculous, but that was kind of the point because this zucchini was just so massive. Yeah. And I don't know, the beginning of the story, I make a mistake with the actual measurement, which he really hammers me about. And I thought it was hilarious. And I still don't know to this day how he found it.
No. And we've had Anastasia did a story here who was with us.
Yeah, the raccoon house.
A raccoon house that had a bunch of things on the top of it.
Sexual toys.
And then that was picked up by Kimmel, right? Yeah. And so it's weird that, like, every time we do something on television on this network, and, last week tonight with John Oliver follows the same thing. They'll cut certain clips of local newscasts. Yeah. Literally every time we put ourselves out there on TV, we are running the risk of something like that happening and being exposed to millions of people.
Millions.
Like that clip, I'm pretty sure when I pulled it, had about 11.4 million views.
Oh, wow.
Like,
yeah.
Like, no, but again, a less confident person with their sense of humor, and even in this job, a person with thinner skin could have had a moment like that just absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, I think I was a little embarrassed about the mistake, but I got over that pretty quickly and just realized how fun the whole thing was. Yeah. And I get asked about it. This was last year?
Yeah.
I still get asked about it regularly. I was just at a family reunion. My family all loved it. And Mayor Jim Dodiati in Niagara Falls still refers to me as Zucchini Man. So, I think it's going to last for a while. But I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
That story was in Thorold, too, of course.
Yeah.
Nice, another local Niagara connection to that one. So to that point, you're an anchor, you're a VJ, and I've told you this. I think your VJ skills, I'm a huge fan, man.
Thank you.
Love the way you put together stories.
Appreciate it.
The way you, your shot selection, all that stuff. You've taken, especially on weekends, you've been the weekend news anchor for about 2.5 years now, I want to say, just over 2 years.
Probably close to that.
Yeah. The weekend news, it's lighter. There's less staff in the building. That's what I say, lighter. There's just less staff in the building. You're still doing what we do every Monday to Friday, just with less resources. And it's a younger crowd, too, with our staff sometimes.
Yeah.
I've really appreciated the fact that, you take younger staffers here and, under your wing when it comes to helping them become good journalists. That's a point of pride for you.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because it is a point of pride for me, and I try to do that. And you're right, they're significantly younger than I am. I think for some of them, I'm their parents' age. Or when I'm referencing movies that I loved, they're like, what?
Yeah.
What's that? Or they haven't watched Anchorman, and it's,
you're in this business and you haven't watched Anchorman?
What do I even say to you?
Yeah.
No. So, no, it's a lot of fun. It also makes me feel younger. It's I'm a pretty immature guy, so that helps.
People in the newsroom are just spitting out their coffees listening to that admission.
What? No, he's totally mature.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I just like to have fun and keep things light. And I think if I keep things light on the weekend, then more people enjoy it, and it just makes the day go by faster. And because it's a lot of work. We have fun, but putting an hour show together and then a half-hour show after that, it's a lot of work with the short staff.
Yeah, no, it's you're doing the same. You're getting an hour show to work to air, and like I say, because I think when you see someone like an Eric Viano who picture him 2.5 years ago, emergency sports fill-in weekend guy, to the stories he's putting in now.
He's killing it.
Right? Hottie, same idea. When you look at people you've guided in this career, and some people you've had to give the hard truth and say, this might not be for you, right?
Well, it's never my job to say that.
It's never your job, but there's ways. But man, like I said, I think it's important to point that out because it is. Yeah, you've taken a lot of people under your wing here.
Well, I also find it exciting to watch people come in and run with it. I watched you come in from radio, and you're killing it as well. I'm proud of you for doing this show, and I think as good as you are at this, you're an even better reporter and sports anchor. I miss you on the weekends because we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And but it is nice to see. Eric has just blown up.
Yeah.
We need someone to cover any story, whether it be big or small. He can do it with ease. Hottie was growing as well, and he's now moved on to our overnight assignment. But we've got an up-and-comer, Roger Collins, who on the weekends we can trust him to do just about anything as well.
Yeah.
So,
well put. To that point, then, what is your piece of advice for people just getting in this game? To that point, what's some piece of knowledge you feel like you've passed on, and what's something you wish you had known when you were up and coming in this business? A lot has changed.
Yeah.
But what's something that you think people should know if this is the career they want to pursue?
Do as many jobs as possible. I thought as a videographer, because you're a reporter, you're an editor, and you write and you cut your stuff and you shoot your stuff. That's a lot of tasks, but I didn't get into anchoring until later in my career, and I wish I had gotten into anchoring at a younger age because it's a lot of fun. It's a rush. You've done it. There's no other rush that is equal to that. Yeah, it's live, and if you get through a clean show, the feeling is just electric. So,
I've never gotten through a clean show, so I don't know. I don't know
when
the
you
feeling. When I do, I really look forward to getting through a show clean.
The once a month I do it, it's just it's so invigorating.
Damn it! I gotta wait another month and a half before I can try again.
But yeah, just and have fun because this really is. We are all in this to be creative, I think, to tell a story. And the more creative you can be in telling a story, the more fun it is for you. And I believe it's more enjoyable for the viewers at home as well.
Real quick, how many suit jackets do you have in the building right now?
I'm going to say about 50. I've got 2 closets going on right now because, and let me explain.
Go for it. Please put it out there for everybody else.
2 closets because I was hearing complaints that I might have too many jackets in the main closet.
So your solution was?
So my solution was to put my new jackets in a different closet. So, and it's technically, it's not even a closet, it's more of a hallway. So I'll be putting my jacket on in a hallway and get some weird looks.
This is no secret right now because we have very, very different approaches to the way we dress on television.
I didn't say it. You said it. Yeah.
Not even dress. Like, we are like complete opposite. Like, I have 3 suit jackets.
What was the quote?
We're not going to go to the...
Louie Butko brushes his hair with a pork chop.
We're not going to go there. My friends call me pork chop now because of that quote. I've told that story so many times. And now that, like, I've told this story and then my friends have told this story. And then, like, when they introduce me to new friends, they tell the story. So now pork chop is just, like, kind of, which is fine. Again,
I think you look great.
Thanks, man. But it is true, though. Like, I mean, like, you got a great fashion sense. You're blue and blue, matchy. That's cool.
I appreciate it.
But, like, I could care less about what I put on when I go on TV. Which is like, because I don't really care. Oh, thank you. My collar's out. Thank you. That's the only thing I cared about. As I say that, my
Corson's been out for a while. I thought that was your look.
Mike, come on, man. Come on, Corson. But it goes back to how do you deal with people online? Because you have a weird, like, not a weird, but like, you're a give and take. Like, you do put a lot out there for fans, more than the average one of us.
So on the Friends of CH Facebook page or Fans of CH Facebook page, I have started to post some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And 90% of it has been well received, super positive. But then you get the odd person writing something nasty.
Yeah.
Which is uncalled for. So then I'll just, if I see it, I'll send to the moderators and they'll get rid of it. Because I'm not posting pictures of my coworkers or myself for people to just take shots at us.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that. But years ago, someone was attacking one of my coworkers on X or Twitter, and I got involved and chimed in their defense, and then that person just turned their wrath on me. And it was a horrible experience that went on. I was basically being harassed for over a month, like 16 posts a day. Yeah. I went to police. Wasn't happy with the outcome. Eventually it stopped. I guess they talked to the person, but they never identified the person to me. So it was pretty frustrating. So since then, I've been actually a little hesitant to go on certain social media sites. Like you'll rarely see me on X now because
nobody uses their real name.
Yeah, and and even now, everything we post, 90% of the comments are just awful. So I don't need to read it. I don't want to read it. It doesn't make me feel good to read it.
Yeah.
But so far, the response from people on the Facebook page has been outstanding. So I'll continue to do it while it.
Yeah.
But I've had to chime in a few times and be like, look, I'm going to stop posting this if you're going to be rude.
And I think there's that delicate balance of, like, when we run into people on the street, like, it is always that. It's not overwhelming, but there's that little bit of, like, oh my God, like you felt comfortable enough to come up to me, like, you, like, whatever, like, I'm a public person, I guess, but, like, we're all people, like, just because we do something confidently, like, we can talk confidently in front of a camera for whatever, doesn't mean I'm always in the best mood to talk, doesn't mean I'm always in the best mood to talk here, right? Because if you're gonna take the time to say hello and be polite about it, then it does make me feel like, hey, cool, like, I'm part of your life in this weird way. Oh, we watch you every morning, we watch you every night, we're such a fan, we love when you did this. You're recalling specific elements of my life sometimes. You're like, okay, cool, like, I try to share what I can here, because it is this weird delicate balance with our viewers that we are part of their lives. We are part of their routines, and we don't take that for granted.
No, I think we take pride in that. And I actually really enjoy it when people come up to me because I know that they've been watching. I know that they have respected what we're doing. It's usually, unfortunately, that when I'm mid-construction project at home wearing sweatpants running out to Home Depot. But it's never when I'm at my best. But no, I always enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, really appreciate you making the time, man. I think this is an insightful chat. Real quick, wanted to give a shout out to the loves of your life, of course, your wife, but also your dogs.
Yeah.
You're a huge schnauzer guy.
Huge schnauzer guy.
Tell us a little bit about him.
I've got Isabella. She's almost 14. She was a wedding present my wife Jennifer and I got ourselves. She's a white schnauzer. Then we have our middle child, Cadbury. She's a chocolate schnauzer. We call them children because I know we're weirdos, but that's just who they are. We don't have actual kids, so we really spoil them. Probably they eat better than most actual human kids. And then our youngest is Nora, who's just turned a year, and she's a spark plug. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That year, the puppy stage, still going on, eh?
Yeah, a lot of fun times.
Yeah.
But back to the connection.
Yeah.
People watching know that I love schnauzers, and they notice little schnauzer tie pins.
Your pins, your flowers, your lapel flowers. Yeah.
And they're always asking to see pictures of them. And I've been out and about. And I used to have, when I was a bachelor, I had a Schnauzer Lucy who I'd put on all the time. Back when
every story that you
Nick
could.
Dixon, Matt Hayes, they would just rip me apart for it. Oh, we get to see Lucy grow up right in front of us. And I would be out somewhere just randomly, and people would, hey, how's Lucy doing? And it's great to see Lucy. So it's
special.
Yeah, it's special. Yeah.
And again, something we don't take for granted. Just like try to keep it nicer, you know.
Yeah.
Try to be a little nicer when you talk to us, because that's the other one. It's like when people, oh, Louie, hey, you look kind of slobby up there lately, or come on, just be nice. We're people with feelings too, okay?
All right, to make you feel better. So a couple weeks ago, I didn't wear my glasses on the 11 o'clock news. So I was just like this, and when I was done, someone took the time to call into my voicemail. So they have to find and go through the computer system. And they said, hey, I saw you didn't wear your glasses at 11. You look tired.
That one's my favorite. Yeah. That one is my favorite. You look tired. Because also, we talk about the weekend. There's no makeup person. That's all makeup. You got to do your own makeup person,
exactly.
too. Man, great chat. Really appreciate it. Absolutely. All right, that's Adam Atkinson. My thanks to him for joining me today. And my thanks to you as well, because we could not do the show without you. Hey, while you're here, make sure you like and subscribe to CHCH Podcast so you never miss an episode of this show or any of the other great shows we have for you, including Sportsline with Bubba O'Neill, which you can catch wherever you found this show. Just search Sportsline or search CHCH Podcasts, or go to chch.com/podcasts. My thanks to Mike Corson for directing today's show. One more time, thank you. And from all of us here at CHCH, I'm Louie Butko. Have a great day.